Hello. Okay, we'll start this over again. Welcome to the District 3 Town Hall meeting. A while back, we thought we would start having one in each district just to kind of let everyone know what's going on, just kind of give you a general overview. We've got a presentation prepared for you, and then after that, we'll open it up for questions. So I'll start off. Pretty much know all of you here, but in case you don't know me, Jamie DeLoach, Commissioner District 3. Got Tim Callanan here, our county manager. Once I get done going over several different topics, Tim's going to go through a slideshow for us and kind of give some more in-depth information on the comments that I make. So I broke this down on what I wanted to say on several key issues. And one is kind of dealing with transportation infrastructure. As y'all know, we've already passed the first single county T-SPLOST, and that is the penny sales tax, and we have to spend that strictly on road infrastructure. Y'all recently voted in the second single county T-SPLOST, and for all of you that voted for that, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. So with that being said, once T-SPLOST is passed and we have to decide our projects, it's very challenging for all of us to come up with which roads are going to be resurfaced, which road projects are going to happen. After 2020, the redistricting, I literally have over half the county as far as land area. So I've got a big area that I have to spread that money out because I want to try to have buy-in from the whole district. I don't want to spend all the money in Guyton because why would the folks in Clio vote for it? So we try to spread it out so we have buy-in from everyone. So that is a challenge. The first T-SPLOST, we spent around $8 million in District 3. That's money that we could not have just raised your taxes. We would have to have raised the millage rate a good bit to make that happen. This second T-SPLOST, we'll probably spend around 17, 18 million. Tim will go over this later, but with growth, we are tracking more and more sales tax. So that has given us more opportunities on the penny sales tax to collect. Something else that we've done, we've spent money on, I forgot which company it is, but anyway, they graded all of the roads, all of the ash roads and the paved roads. And just to keep it simple, they gave you a grade of green, good, yellow, it needs to be looked at, red, you need to do something right now. Unfortunately, District 3, I've got quite a few reds in my district. So there's definitely some roads that need some immediate attention. So T-SPLOST has allowed us to do that. Kind of these other points is going to pertain just to our area. We have a lot of road infrastructure projects going on right now, but one of the main calls that I got is the intersection at McCall coming into 21 there at Springfield. Right there where Courthouse comes into McCall. I know there's been a lot of accidents there. So here recently, Georgia Department of Transportation, GDOT, came to us, and kind of what GDOT is doing now is they don't want us to call them and say, hey, we need this light or we need this road widened. They want you to have skin in the game. And GDOT's been, our meetings in Atlanta, they've been very forthcoming with that. So GDOT has asked us if we would help with the design cost for that red light on Highway 21 there. And of course, we said absolutely. That is a problem. So I don't know the exact timeline of when the traffic light will be up, but just know that is in motion. We'll be helping with design costs to try to speed that project along. Also, the bridge on Stillwell. I've texted quite a few of you about this. This project has been on the list for a long time with GDOT, but it is finally, I know some people have told me they've seen the surveyors out there. I think the part of the process they're in now is making sure there's no environmental issues in that area. I think they're checking for historical sites to make sure there's no historical sites that are going to be disturbed, and that's just a normal process that they have to go through. So that is moving forward. We don't have a start date at this point. I know Webb's Feed and Seed is out there. I know a lot of people use that road, so it's going to be a big inconvenience, but as you know, that bridge, it does need attention and needs to be replaced. So we'll definitely have a lot more communication on that coming up once we get more information. Two, we'll have a slide here later that has all of the roads listed for the second T-Splost in District 3, but two of the major road infrastructure upgrades in District 3 will be Old Louisville over in the Guyton area. Each lane will be widened 12 inches and resurfaced. And then also Clio-Stillwell from Longbridge Road to Marion Avenue in Clio. Each lane will be widened 12 inches and resurfaced. So that will be the longest two roads that are done in District 3. All right, so moving on to warehouses. We've got a slide that's going to come up in a presentation that shows our industrial areas, and we have six locations for those for the industrial development, and you'll see them. They will have a purple color. And one of the main questions that I get, and people actually argue with me on a regular basis, is why are the warehouses being 100% abated, and how come they don't pay their fair share? I can show you numbers-wise, I can show you the revenue that's coming in. They are paying their fair share. Last year, we got in right around $10 million of property taxes from the warehouses that are currently built. There's some that were in construction. They don't come on the tax digest until we have the CO. So far, that 10 million will increase. So roughly 3.5 million of that went to the county Board of Commissioners, and about 6.5 million went to the school board. Well, the past budget cycle, we rolled back the county millage rate 1%, 1 point, and the school board rolled theirs back, I think, right at 0.9. So 1 mil is, I think, about $3.3 million. So what we did, the revenue we got in, we gave it back to you. And the other portion of the question that I get is, well, my tax bill really didn't go down. Well, state law says that the taxing body cannot also decide the value of that, of the real estate. So basically, the Board of Commissioners, we are the taxing body, we set the millage rate, but our Board of Assessors is who decides what the real estate values are. So so it's an arm's length. So the same body cannot do both, because it would definitely be a conflict of interest. And as a lot of you know, if you buy a new home now, used to $300,000 got you a really big house, but $300,000 doesn't get you very far anymore. That's just where we are with the economy. So real estate values have gone up. So we tried to do what we could to help out as much as we could. We've never really been in a situation that we could lower the millage rate without taking away services, but with the warehouse revenue that's come in, that has given us an option. Now, I will tell you, we cannot have a warehouse everywhere. I totally understand that. But there are, like I said, there are designated areas that have them. We've also created, as of right now, 3 special tax districts. So some of these warehouses are going to be paying above and beyond what their normal property tax rate is. One of those special tax districts is on Old Augusta Road. One, I believe, is at I-16, close to that park, and the other one's by McCall Road, by Gateway. By Blandford Elementary. That is some high concentration areas of warehouses. So they are going to be paying extra to help keep up that road infrastructure in those areas. So far we have those in place. Let's see. Majority of the county is still zoned AR1, so agricultural residential 1, which is a 5 acres or more tract. So that is still the majority of the zoning in the county. This past, every 10 years, you can always update your future land use map at any time that you want, but you're required by state law, you're supposed to do it every 10 years. And you're also supposed to update your comprehensive plan for your county every 10 years. And for District 3, I did not add any new commercial or industrial zones for that. I know we have a lot of agricultural land in District 3. I know we still, that's primarily where the farmland is. So not to say that zoning can never change, but I was trying to keep it as it is today as best I could. So, but at any time, someone always still has the right to petition the Board of Commissioners for a zoning change. One thing I am glad we are doing is we are revamping our ordinances. We've hired a firm to go through there and look at them. A lot of the ordinances we have today, I mean, they've been there for 40 years. And we've actually had to create some new ordinances because we are dealing with issues that we've never dealt with before. And so we're having to try to tackle that, and we've got a firm that's doing that. So we have changed some of the zoning so far, but we've definitely got a lot more to do to keep up with the current times. Moving on to recreation, this is a little bit more of the fun stuff. We are adding on to the gym at Clarence Morgan. We are starting the design phase for phase 2 at Clarence Morgan. That will be 7 multi-purpose fields. With the amount of football, amount of soccer, and now with some of the increased interest in lacrosse, our multi-purpose fields is our biggest demand right now. We originally, when we made the master plan for Clarence Morgan, we actually had another phase of 5 1-and-1 fields. That's for softball and baseball planned, but just the way things have happened, we're putting that on the back burner for phase 3, and we're going with the multi-purpose fields for phase 2. We've got some major upgrades planned for Baker's Pond. I don't know if anybody's a pickleball fan in here, but supposedly in Savannah that's getting really big, but we're actually going to have our first official pickleball courts at Baker's Pond. So Highway 119, we've got upgrades planned for Pinora. We've got upgrades planned for Sand Hill. We've got major, that whole park is going to be redone. I think we're going to add 2 multi-purpose fields to that. We're going to have paved parking there, and we have got to do phase 2 of Clarence Morgan first before we could do Sand Hill, because we are going to have to shut those multi-purpose fields down in order to repair those at Sand Hill. So we've got to have more inventory before we do that. So that was the reasoning behind us doing Clarence Morgan first. There's going to be upgrades coming to the Clio Community Center and to the building itself, and also to the recreation area. There'll be some renderings put up here later on in Tim's in his presentation. One thing I was really proud of and glad to be a part of, but we actually got planners to run fiber optics up to the fire station, up 119 to the fire station, and then also ran fiber optics down Fair Street to the community center. One of the things I didn't realize, because it really came up, is during COVID and shelter in place, I had a lot of parents and grandparents complaining to me about the lack of access of high-speed internet for their kids and grandkids. And a lot of them, when they got off work, they had to drive their kids all the way back to Springfield just so their kids could do their assignments on work, for homework with school. And I never really thought about that at that time. Windstream claims that they cover that area out there, but there's not very much infrastructure out there, as a lot of you probably know that live in that area. So step one was to get a line up there, and then now grants are available. So we're going to try to get some more grants to hopefully build off of that line that we got up there now to try to help some other folks in that area with high-speed internet. Water and sewer. This is not so fun stuff, but it is very important. We have, regardless if you agree we should have got in the water sewer business, I mean, that's a whole nother story, but as of today, we're in the sewer business. It is what it is. Prior administrations decided that that's the route we were going to go, so here we are. We are in the sewer business. Hindsight is always 20/20 with what you do. So starting out, there were, I believe it was 5 main lines that were just spread out through the county going to certain areas. And over time, we have decided that if we loop those lines together, just long story short, it makes a much more efficient system. But with anything, there comes cost. Nothing's cheap. So we did a loop A, and then that is completed, and then loop B is in the process. And that is supposed to help out our system tremendously and help out our current wastewater treatment plant. We also have in the works, we're going to put a new 12-inch force main going down Blue Jay Road, which will expand sewer services in that area. We are also currently in the design of our second wastewater treatment plant, and this will be 2 million gallons per day. Our current plan is 1 million gallons per day, so this will give us a total of 3 million per day. So to give you an idea on, we get fussed at a pretty good bit on planning for infrastructure, but behind the scenes, just to design that wastewater treatment plant, it's 1.5 years, 2 years just to design it. Construction, that's another 1.5 years, 2 years just for construction. So you're looking at a 3 to 4 year process from day one when you decide you have the money, which is a lot of times that is the key, and for that to happen. So it takes a while for it all to come together. So we're in the process of doing that. One thing I will say, I probably don't pay attention to this or come across them very much, but we do just because they're a community partner. But Oglethorpe Power, they bought the plant on McCall Road. They've been a great community partner. They are making some major upgrades on their plant. And with those upgrades, they're going to be able to take a lot of our reuse water, which comes from our wastewater treatment plant, and be able to use that. So that helps all of us because it helps cool their turbines down, but it also helps the taxpayers out. That's going to be a win-win situation for us. They didn't have to do it, but they decided to, and we're really excited about that. So one thing, a comment that got made after Forrest Floyd's District 1, after his town hall meeting, is there was a certain individual that's there, and they're normally on the critical side of us. And Tim went through his presentation. It was great, showed all the projects we have going on. So just to give y'all an idea, with the next 5 years, I mean, we're looking to deliver about 250 to 300 million in projects when you count road, water, sewer, and recreation. So there's a lot that's going to be delivered here in the next 5 years. But I will tell you, one of the things that we have gotten from the state and the feds is we've gotten $54 million of grants for water, just water and sewer alone. And not alone, that was money given to us. The comment was made after Forrest, his town hall was, well, that's a great presentation, but y'all should have done all this 10 years ago. Well, let me tell you, we could not have taxed y'all high enough. Y'all would have been in bankruptcy if we delivered all of these projects 10 years ago. Because there's no way we could have done this through a fiscal responsible way. So as I said previously, we're on our second T-SPLOS now. We've gotten $54 million from the state and federal government on grants. We also have SPLOS. All that's made a big difference. And we're delivering all these projects. And I mentioned earlier that we lowered the county millage rate one point, and the school board lowered it 0.9. Still delivering the same services. And we would have never had those opportunities without the penny sales tax. So with that being said, a few other things just to say, our bond rating is a AA2. That's 2 clicks away from AAA bond rating, which is the highest that you can get. So the county financially, we're very sound. And one reason of that is because we do keep a good fund balance. So what that means is we keep a good reserve. One thing that we've talked about is, you know, you don't need to have too much of a reserve because either you use that money or you give it back to the taxpayers. But part of our reserve is going to be used on helping fund some of these projects that you're going to see up here in Tim's presentation. So, might have talked too long there on that part. But so now I'm going to turn it over to Tim, and some of his slides will hopefully back up what I just said. And then after that, we'll open it up for questions if anybody has any.
Thank you. Can everybody see the screen very well? I don't know where the lights are. I would have maybe turned them off, but